Hello everybody. Hey, it's Ken Faulkner. I got some more knives to show you on a video. Just going through my my whole journey in my knife collecting. That's kind of what this channel's been um, since the beginning. I'm not really trying to sell anything, or I'm not really um, just kind of showing knives. I mean, some things I've gotten loaned to me, which have been great. Other things are mostly stuff in my collection. In a case like this, I got a couple of knives here. Not normal for me to have two knives of the same model, but clearly these things are not alike. Although they started out alike, there's been many changes to this one. If you know Cold Steel, you know the 8010 Andrew Dimco design. It's a bulky knife. It's a nice heavy hard use knife with the triad lock. I've had this one for a long time. I'm sure I've had videos on it or shown it in videos before. At least when I was showing some of my bigger knives, I definitely showed it then. This is not a small knife, and a lot of people aren't really going to be comfortable with carrying a knife this large. A lot of people just don't see the need for anything this large. That I'm not one of those people, but you know, I totally respect everybody's opinion, and I just hope other people respect mine. I think in general the community is very respectful and willing to accept different ideas. There's such a wide range. I mean, there's no reason that anybody has to change their opinions to enjoy collecting knives, because there's so many different ones. Yeah, I've had this one, like I said, for a long time, and it's been one of my favorites. Certainly one of my favorite Cold Steel knives. Just the action on this one, the sound of it is just solid. It feels solid in the hand. If you have never actually held one or used one, it's a super solid feel. I mean, it feels like a fixed blade. I know that a lot of that has to do with the triad lock and Andrew Dimco and his designs in general. So this is what it looks like when you buy one from Cold Steel. It's S35VN steel, made in Taiwan. G10 handles. It's got to be steel liners. I could just double check that real quick with a little magnet, but well, that's interesting. I'm putting that magnet right on there, and I'm not sticking. So, is that a titanium liner? I guess I wasn't ready for that. Obviously, it sticks here. Doesn't stick here. Might actually be titanium. I don't think it'd be aluminum. It's just too heavy, and I think you'd feel the difference if it was aluminum. Anyhow, it is what it is. So I got an opportunity to get this knife, and if you're familiar with Behind the Edge, Nick Edwards, you've seen it before if you watched his videos. I also want to mention, in case you've watched his videos in the past and noticed that he's kind of tapered off of making videos, he's kind of starting to come back, starting to show some more great videos. So make sure you're getting back over there and checking out what he's got. All the mods that were done to this were due to Nick. Not all of them were done by Nick, but Nick is been known. If you've seen him buy knives and you see him, getting replacement scales, he likes, these are aluminum, I believe, but he does like titanium scales. But this one is a very cool texture, kind of crazy S pattern milling on these scales. But before the scales went on, what happened is that Sawtooth Dave, another great channel, hopefully you're checking out his stuff. He went through a period, probably like 2 months, where he had just bought a grinder. He's a machinist originally by trade. He's not really doing that work so much, other than doing his own thing now, but he did buy a grinder and was really, developing his skills. He was, having people send knives. At first, I think it was more knives that people weren't so worried about, but he always actually, from the beginning, had a good a touch for it. With his machining background, I mean, that's really what it stems from. But you can see the grind lines on this are beautiful. And he has gotten better over time. I don't know exactly where this fit in his, but I think it was fairly early. And he gets these hollow grinds that have a really good geometry, an awesome geometry. So looking at this one, it is fairly thick, and it's just flat from here, like 3/4 up, down. But you could feel with your fingers how thick the geometry is. Now, this is not necessarily going to be a slicey machine. This one is way more slicey now. But this one here is more of a hard use. You can like just hack at things and it'll hold up. This one may be a little less. It's still S35VN as far as I know. The steel material was ground off. That was part of the grinding there. But anyway, S35 is going to be a good steel. So even at it being thinner like that, I think it's still going to be pretty strong. Also, another thing, Nick hates these clips. I'm okay with the clip myself, but he was looking for something more deep carry. Clearly, this is not. This is. I think he got this one somewhere like Etsy or something like that, or maybe eBay. And it was one of these things where he ordered it and he wasn't sure if he was ever going to get it. He finally got it. For me, it's not necessarily the prettiest clip in the world, but it works. It works really well. It's got that long bill, so it's got enough flex to it, but also enough retention to it. Definitely plenty of room there. You can have the thicker jeans, you're never going to have a problem with these. So yeah, this is a really good working clip. I think it's a better clip. I don't think it's the best looking, but definitely functional. Anyway, so yeah, hollow grind on this big beefy blade. That's what Dave really likes. He likes big knives, and he likes to work on thicker knives, thicker blades. With his grinding, that gives him room to do that hollow. Let's check some stats here on the thicknesses. So this one is coming in at 0.152 thousandths. This should be about the same. One thing I noticed when I put these side by side is that the Cold Steel logo is different. I believe that this is the older one, whereas this is more with the GSM, I guess, is the company that owns them now. And I think this little with the little lightning bolt kind of thing in the middle there, I think that's the newer version. So I think this was bought after the buyout of the company. I could be wrong on that. So same thickness of the blade. So I think this design was the same. It just, the logo was different. I'm not good at getting behind the edge thickness, but I will try my best to do it. I think I'm looking at somewhere around 36, 37, 38 thousandths. Let's see what I can get on this one. I expect it's going to be thinner. So we're down around 24 thousandths now with that regrind. So that's going to make a significant difference in paper cutting. Let me see if I can just do a quick cut. Oh yeah, see, it's definitely. Now Nick probably did sharpen this. He is very into extremely sharp edges. I haven't sharpened it since I've got it, but and then we can see if we can see a difference with this 8010. It actually cuts pretty well as well. The sound is a little different though, if you listen to it. Very subtle, very small amount, but maybe it's the feel, maybe it's the sound. But you can tell different blade geometries and how thin they are will make a different sound as you're cutting through paper. At least that's my impression. Also wanted to, well, I'll give you the overall length, which is going to be the same for both these knives, but we're talking about 8 3/4, so not a small knife at all. The blade length is 3 3/4. So definitely full size, if not more than full size. And I want to do a weight because there's a before and after situation going on here. Because this, when you grind a blade in a hollow grind, you're going to take a little bit of material off. This one doesn't drop quite as easily because I think that there's less weight on that blade. So we're going to see what that kind of looks like. It's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I mean, the other one, the 8010 original, when this thing drops, it just drops. So you got to make sure that you get your finger in the right place so that the blade's not hitting your finger, because it's going to cut you. So let's do the original one first. Original weight. Make sure in pounds, 7.1 ounces. 7.1 ounces. That is going to be too heavy for many people. 7.1 ounces. I have no problem with heavy knives. If you know my channel, you know. See what this one is like. 6.4. So we've lost about 0.7 ounces with the grind and the change in handle, because this is aluminum. G10 may be a little bit heavier. So in general, yeah, this is going to be a lighter knife. So what's going to happen now? Because I've normally not had more than one of the same model in my collection. And I am trying to find knives to move on in my giveaways as an old with a new knife. I've talked about that too. So I'm doing a giveaway after I get back from Blade Show. I'm going to find some knife while I'm there to give away. Don't know any. I don't have any idea what it's going to be yet, but this knife will be in that giveaway. And then we'll have some other stuff, you know, different types of EDC type related stuff. Obviously, lots of stickers. When I go to the Blade Show, I'll be getting a lot of stickers. So anyway, good. I'm going to cut this one off before we get to the 15-minute mark, because these collection videos I'm doing have been like brutal on the length. They're all over a half hour, I think. So this is a nice short one. I just want to show you these two because I think it's really cool to see the difference. The Sawtooth Dave hollow grind. The scale, I'm not sure where he got these scales from. I probably should have done some more research on that. And that clip, I have no idea where he got the clip. So yeah, it makes a big difference when you do this kind of thing. I've done a little bit myself. I've always enjoyed it, but I just don't do it as much as I probably should. You guys take care, and I will see you on the next one.